Hi, my name's Dave Chenault, and I want to thank you for joining this real quick demo of some of the new capabilities of SharePoint 2010 and InfoPath. I think that this is one of the most significant enhancements that you're going to find in the new product release, and I have a feeling that it's going to change the way people look at SharePoint. So let's take a look at the agenda. We're going to take a look at what's new with the InfoPath SharePoint 2010 list integration. We're going to show what you can do with that and then talk about what it means to you. So right now, InfoPath and SharePoint are partners with the 2007 release, but they're not that deeply integrated. When you think about it, you can use InfoPath to create forms and do workflow. But with the new version of SharePoint and InfoPath, it's very deeply integrated with lists in SharePoint. What this means today is that on 2010 release, when you go to take a look at a list item and double click on it, you now can integrate in a form from InfoPath. Previously, you were limited to the default list settings in SharePoint or some custom ASPX pages. But now you can take InfoPath, create a form, associate it with a list, and that one form can be used for 3 pages that you would normally see, or items in SharePoint: the new form, the edit form, and the display form or disp form. All the power that InfoPath brings to the table is now available to you as a user. And I'm not even going to say developer, because what's really great about it is that all this is out of the box and basically scripting rather than having to write custom code. In my opinion, this is a real game changer. You can really build a very rich user interface quickly, and I think it's going to be a key transformational tool in the new release that's going to turn SharePoint into an application development toolkit for people that use SharePoint today. So what I want to do is just show you a quick demonstration of what I'm talking about. Um, I'm going to show you a standard list in SharePoint 2010 and show you the standard user interface that you would get out of the box. Then we'll go in and take a look at InfoPath, show you how it associates with a list, and then make a slight modification. Then I'll finally finish off the demo with showing you some more advanced forms and some interesting integration features. So right now I'm going to go ahead and link into SharePoint 2010. This is a preview version of SharePoint, so bear with me if it gets a little buggy. So the first thing I'll do is go and take a look at a little demonstration list that I've created. And we'll start off by taking a look at just a simple list item. And this is pretty familiar to everybody. This would be the standard user interface you would see out of the box with SharePoint when you select a list item. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a look at a list item and associate that new view, the display view, with an InfoPath form. So I'm going to go ahead as a new capability in SharePoint to integrate in. And I've just created a very simple InfoPath form that has the same fields in it, but now it's got a different user interface. It's got side-by-side columns. It's got a button that's been added to it. And I'm going to go ahead and publish this out to the list in SharePoint. So it's a nice new wizard interface. And we'd previously done this, so the link was already there. But now when I select the item, you're going to see that the form that loads is now an InfoPath form. And if I edit it, I get all the rich interface that I get with InfoPath, drop downs, etc. And it's very simple for me to modify these forms. I'll go ahead and just show you if I wanted to add an additional field. This is a really great feature. I'm going to go ahead and add an end date in InfoPath, and what you'll see is that when I go ahead and create this new field, it'll automatically add that as a new column in SharePoint on that list and make it available. So we'll go ahead and insert a new column. We'll call this one end date, make it real simple. And we'll just do a simple a field here. Throw it in there. And then we'll just give it a title and call it end date. And what you're going to see is when we publish this, uh, now that new column is going to be available in SharePoint, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. So now we're going to go back into SharePoint, and we didn't do a lot of fancy stuff here. But now when I go ahead and open up the form, I'll go ahead and just maybe open this one up again. We should see a new field in there. Doesn't look particularly good, but I can go ahead now and select, let's edit it. And let's add a new field. And what's in my mind truly amazing is that all of the properties now were added so that now I can take a look at this view and you're going to see a new column available to me. And if you take a look here, the end date now is right there. Pretty amazing, in my opinion, that we can do that. So now we have end date available. We added that with InfoPath, and I'll show you a quick sample of sort of how far you can take this. We're in the early stages of building a CRM tool in SharePoint. And let's take a look at a simple account screen that we're working on right now. And this will give you an idea of how far you can go. So rather than the standard kind of a boring interface that you're used to with SharePoint, now we can make a very rich interface that a user would be very happy seeing. And let's go ahead, and one of the very interesting things you might notice is a child relationship here to this parent. We can associate opportunities with a particular account and create new opportunities with other lists in SharePoint. But if we go ahead and edit, you're going to see this has multiple pages associated with it. We'll take a look at it. And scrolling down, you can see another lot of information there and go back and forth between pages. We're working on a user interface now to give it tabs and those kind of things. But you get the idea that this is all done with InfoPath. If we want to take a look, we'll just go ahead and edit that in InfoPath. We'll take a quick look at it. And just to show you sort of what we're doing, if you notice, there's a very slick link now. And just imagine how powerful this is going to be, because this one form now is taking the place of the 3 that you used to have to do by hand. Now you can do all this, lay it out with a graphical tool. So let's finish up our slide deck and kind of talk about what this means to you. So now you can use InfoPath as a very rich tool to build the user interface and really start to build applications. You get the drag and drop metaphor that we just showed you. You get integration with data on the back end through data connectors that are built into InfoPath. You get a lot of actions and scripting, and this is all done with no code. I think this is probably going to be one of the main benefits of upgrading to the new platform that you're going to see. I think you're going to be able to take applications that you have or have been thinking about making and do them with SharePoint, leveraging your investment. So what I would say to you is just imagine what you could do with this tool and how much money this can save you. I can tell you the client we're working with now is looking at saving 7 figures in 18 months, replacing an existing system they have. So if you'd like to know more, you can reach me via email. Just go ahead and send me an email back or give me a call. I sent you this information, and I want to thank you for joining me today. This is Dave Chenault with SkyLite Systems.